name's T.Collins, and this is my speech on how to stand up on a surfboard. Imagine it's mid-July on the beach and the waves are perfect. You haven't surfed before, but you want to know how to. This is how you do it. The first thing you need to learn is balancing position on your board. A good board to start off on is for a beginner is a soft top, compared to a normal polyester board, which is a much harder top. These boards are made with a soft foam top, making it much more user-friendly, for where if this board were to hit me, it would not hurt me or puncture me as much as this board. You can see that this nose is much more pointed as well and sharper rails, while on most foamies they keep the soft much more mellow. It's also good to start with a longer board, about 2 to 3 feet bigger than you, that provides a lot of stability and a lot of paddle power when catching the wave. I've been surfing all my life, so obviously this is a more of a standard short board, but a normal board to start off on would be much bigger and be out of this one. Just like positioning on your board, you can position yourself in the lineup to catch the wave. You should sit right out the back, right where the waves are breaking. And you should aim to stand up right as the wave is crashing. A wave is kind of broken into 2 sections, a peak, or otherwise known as a curl, and then a shoulder. Taking off on the shoulder, which is the open face part of the wave, is much more easier to stand up on, as it's much more mellow. As you progress, you'll see more experienced surfers take right off on the peak. Paddling will establish whether you actually catch the wave or not. As you position to put yourself in a position to catch it, face towards the beach in the direction you want to go in and paddle one arm at a time. I'll show you an example. When you're sitting down on the board, you want to be about 3/4 up on your board. Your chest wants to be right about there, 3/4 up. Obviously, this is a much shorter board that you'd be starting off on, so it's going to look much shorter. As you're paddling for the wave, once you position yourself, you want to aim towards the beach or which direction you want to go in. So say that's the beach there, you want to paddle one arm at a time. Now cup your hands sort of like this and go deep right into the water, one arm at a time. Once you feel like the wave has actually taken you and it's pushing you forward to the point where you don't need to paddle anymore, you want to put your hands right at the rails, just like a pop-up or just like a push-up or a burpee. Once you've gotten here, get nice and stable and push up just like this. Leaving kind of almost just more like a burpee instead of a push-up. Leaving kind of your hip still facing down. Once you got in here, always important to keep looking straight towards the beach. Wherever you're looking, that's where your shoulders are going to follow, and you want your shoulders upright. So as I'm looking forward and I'm up here, I'm pulling my front leg right up into my chest. I'm a goofy footer, which is just like surfing or just like writing. Some people use their left hand, some people use their right. You just have to figure out whichever's natural for you. So I stand with my right foot forward, which makes me a goofy foot. Standing with your left foot forward like this is a regular foot stance. So back to standing up. We've gotten here, push up, then we're pulling your front foot, looking forward, pulling your front foot right into your chest, and then right here, it's important not to look down at your foot. If you're gonna look down at your foot just like this, your chest is gonna follow, so you will keep looking straight. But it's important to kind of shimmy. You should know, you'll be able to feel it, but you want your feet kind of faced almost perpendicular to the board, a little more angled up. Once you've gotten here, your back foot will naturally kind of follow you, and you just stand up naturally. You see how back foot follows? Now once you've gotten here and you fully stand up, positioning yourself on the board where your feet are is much more important. You should stand about a little wider than shoulder width apart. Obviously when you're first standing up, I'll switch around so I'm facing. Obviously, so when you first stand up, the wider the stance provides more stability, more balance. If I'm more a beginner, I could go a little wider stance. It's important to bend your knees. Most important thing is keeping your shoulders parallel with the surfboard and looking forward. Once you've gotten here, Enjoy your ride. Now that we know how to balance on your board, position yourself in the lineup, and catch a wave, we've learned that surfing is a highly technical sport which takes a lot of time and effort. Positioning yourself on the surfboard and in the lineup will help you to catch more waves. And paddling and standing up correctly will justify whether you make it down and ride in on the wave. We have learned the basic movements of surfing, but it's important to be noted that it truly can only be learned through experience and practice. So next summer, grab yourself a soft top and go surfing. Thank you.